Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for joining me for another player interview on the Give and Go podcast without my partner, Doug. Again, we're doing another soccer interview. We have the talented finishing her junior year at Freehold Township, Ainsley Moy. Ainsley, thank you for taking time out today and joining me.
Thank you.
So, we talked a little before we started. So, Ainsley's at PDA. She's a junior at Freehold Township. Just real quick, big showcase up at PDA this past weekend. How did you play, and how did the team do?
Yeah, the team did really well. We our first game we won 3-1. Our second game we tied 3-3, and our third game we won 3-0. But overall, very positive results. I think as a team, we've just been getting better each day, and by this point in the season, we're preparing for nationals. So we're ready and we're getting ready to go. Training a lot this season, so it'll be good.
Question, it didn't really when I came back to covering high school sports and soccer, a lot of things changed, obviously, and from your club. Well, first of all, there was no such thing as academies when I left soccer. But do you play the same position for your club team for PDA as you do for Freehold Township?
So at Freehold Township, I'm mostly in the attacking mid position, and then PDA, I've recently started playing outside forward more. So I'm kind of like in that role, but like sometimes I'll switch into the attacking mid. So it's kind of just like depends on the game and stuff like that. But I play mostly outside forward on PDA and mostly at center mid on Freehold.
Since you started playing, is that mostly what you've been playing? You've played 3 years, midfield and attacking.
Yeah, I've played like attacking mid pretty much my whole life. So yeah, that's kind of where I started as a freshman and then just continued that.
Now we're gonna go back to your younger days. How old were you when you first started playing soccer?
I want to say I was like 5 or 6, maybe. I started at like a rec league, run with Freehold, and then I joined um town soccer at Freehold too. Yeah.
Do you remember your very first rec coach?
I remember that.
How about your first, your travel coach, your first club coach?
Yeah, so my first coach I want to say was Kyle Ulinski. He was a great coach. I think like he really helped me like develop at the younger ages of my life, and I just enjoyed playing on the team. It was like a lot of my friends, and yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, at that age, you want a coach that's able to make it fun, to
Yeah.
keep you passionate and to grow you. Did you play any other sports when you were younger?
Yeah, I did like rec basketball when I was really little. I did like dance and gymnastics. Like I'm pretty sure every other kid does that. Um, but yeah, kind of just like from the time I started playing soccer, it kind of just stuck with that because I just like, I don't know, I just had a love for it better than any other sport I played.
That was gonna be my next question. What do you think caused you, to fall in love with soccer?
Honestly, I don't know the exact reason. I think like I enjoy a lot of my friends were playing it. I enjoyed it at the time, but I think like out of all the sports, I was just like more naturally talented at it, I guess. So I kind of just gained like I had a really easy time like understanding the game, and I think that just kind of like sparked my love for it. Just being able to do it and have fun doing it.
How have your parents helped you, along the way, development, and do they have a soccer background or no?
No, they don't.
Okay.
My dad didn't like my mom didn't really play sports, and my dad did like baseball or whatever in high school, but no, yeah, they've helped me like a tremendous amount. I think like even from a younger age when they started seeing I was like good at it, they like kind of like helped me become more serious and brought me to like PDA where I was able to, develop more. And I think like them like realizing that I was good enough to play at that level just like helped me, and they encouraged me, and like even now like they're still driving me to practice every day. So I think like they just become a huge impact in that aspect.
Yeah, it's, time consuming for the parents as well as the player, especially. It's so different these days where you travel, I mean, like, PDA is up by Rutgers, right? The camp,
Yeah, it's a
up
little
and out.
farther than yours, yeah.
It's different from my days where you just played for your local town. There was real no traveling, so there's a commitment, and same thing with the training. I'm sure you got to go all over for your individual training, not just your team training. Do you have any siblings?
Yeah, I have an older sister and a younger sister, but my younger sister plays soccer. My older one doesn't.
Uh, how old is your younger sister?
She's 12, yeah.
Wow.
She plays at PDA also.
Okay. Is it a competitiveness between you girls?
I wouldn't say competitiveness, just the age difference,
Yeah, it's a little bit.
Yeah, it's a big difference, but I think like she's just like kind of like just like me with like at that age. She's like super passionate about it, and like I think like she really takes my advice and stuff like that. So I try to help her whenever I watch her games and stuff like that.
Did your older sister play any sports or no?
She used to play soccer like a
Hmm.
long time ago. She played gymnastics as well, but she kind of like just wasn't about the sport. She's in college now, so that was all.
When you were younger, who was like a role model?
Like soccer players, you mean?
And anybody, it could be anybody.
Anyone? Um, I used to watch a lot of soccer when I was little, like I still do, but like obviously the national team players, I always looked up to, Alex Morgan or like Carly Wood and the usuals, like stuff like that. But I wouldn't say there was like a specific role model. I just think like um I think my parents just like I want to like do make them proud and stuff like that. So I'd always try my best for them.
Now, you moved to PDA, you said around, fourth grade, you said, right? Around there.
Yeah. Fourth grade.
Who was your coach at that time? Because I know you could go through a couple coaches, right? At PDA.
At PDA, yeah. So my first coach was Jonah Hill, his name was. He was my coach for a little while. And then I had Larry for like 2 years, and then now I have Mike ONeill. So
Now, how has Mike helped you elevate your game?
well, he's been our coach for a long time. I think like after I think he's just like helped our team a lot, like in terms of just building my knowledge and like the game and everything like that, and just like motivating us to play together. We all like he wants us to have a certain style of play. Like we pass the ball a lot, and like he makes us very organized as a team. So he's just like taught me a lot, and I think our whole team, yeah.
Do you think having, him as a coach, obviously, he coaches Rutgers, help you prepare for you for the next level?
Yeah, definitely. I think like obviously there's a big difference between club and, college, but I think like him being a college coach, like he's implemented like his trainings and drills that he uses at Rutgers into our club practices, and he kind of pushes us to that same standard and same level that we're expected to live up to in college. So I think being at PDA and having like the high level competitiveness and experience like that is just I feel like I'm gonna be prepared in the future. So
Now, switching from club, we'll talk about Freehold, which is, another very high level program in the state of New Jersey for soccer. Now, you going in your freshman year, and Freehold had, already had a lot of history with the girls soccer program. What were goals you set for yourself that you wanted to achieve throughout your career at Freehold?
as a freshman, you mean?
Well, yeah, so first your goals when you enter as a freshman, and then goals you had, for your whole career that you might have set when you were entering.
Yeah, so I mean, as a freshman, obviously, like I was kind of just like new to the whole team and everything like that. So I wanted to make the biggest impact I can, just like proving myself to that already team who was like already playing and like the older girls. and just like put my name on like Freehold Township and stuff like that, and like prove to the coach Patterson that I was able to play at a good level. So I think just like going in there with a mentality where I have to like work 100% my whole game, like every game and practices to like prove myself is definitely one of my goals in mind. And then obviously like working towards winning a state championship and the usual like short conference and stuff like that. I think that year was weird with COVID and everything like that, so we didn't get to it, but we won like the highest whatever thing. I don't know what it was, but yeah.
The pod playoff. So
Yeah.
that was going to be my next question. COVID. Did you think the season, you get ready to start school? Did you think the season was going to happen? Before like you actually had the season.
Yeah, I mean, we were like practicing in the summer and everything like that, so it was kind of yeah, I thought I knew it was gonna happen. It was just like really weird because things were just happening at the same time while we were playing, so it was weird at times. Like I didn't expect like for us not to have like a real state championship or anything like that, but yeah.
Did you find it difficult? Just definitely it happened a lot for basketball, indoors. But did you find it difficult? You getting ready for a game and then you never know a phone call might happen to other teams. Somebody might have came in contact with somebody, COVID, the game was canceled. Did that affect like your mentality at all for that season?
Um, I don't think it affected my mentality. I think it was just like a weird time for everyone. Obviously, like preparing myself for a game, I have to be like, I like to get like locked in beforehand and like prepare myself mentally. But obviously, it was like when those times did happen where some stuff had to be canceled and stuff like that. It was disappointing. Um, but yeah, I think like I just felt like whenever we get the chance to play, it's just like, it's a great time. So yeah, I was just hoping that we would have every chance we could possible with the circumstances.
A lot of kids, when I ask that, that's the kind of answer, they just grateful for every chance they, game that wasn't canceled or, or being with the team and whatnot. I got two more questions for your freshman year. One, you're going in there as a freshman, you could be nerve-wracking. Any upperclassmen that help you or, you were able to go to?
Um, I don't know. I don't think like anyone in particular. I think like everyone was kind of just like really welcoming. It wasn't like one person specifically, but I feel like they were just like a really fun group to be around. So and also as a freshman, I had like Cassidy and Shay with me as well. So it was kind of just like easy to, talk to everyone and fit in with them. So yeah.
Do you think a lot of that has to do, and one reason why Freehold's been good for so many years, the culture that Coach Patterson has developed, and that do you think that plays a big part with the team's success and the bond you girls have?
Yeah, 100%. I think like he always preaches us to be just a very positive group, and like obviously the captains are gonna be the leaders, and I think he does a good job of selecting who's that gonna be because they're always the type of people who are gonna bring everyone together and be that leader so that some people who are like the underclassmen will have like their opportunities and like we'll all feel like a connected group, and I think he as a coach has just like been super helpful to like make everyone be accepted and everyone um like have a good time together and just like all working towards the same goal. So
Now, fast forward, you beat Union for the pod title, whatever that is. Fast forward sophomore year, full season, almost run the table. First, let's talk, the feeling it was to win the Shore Conference tournament because Shore Conference is one of the hardest conferences. So, and I believe that year, because you graduated, a lot of girls graduated from your freshman year to your sophomore year. So, you weren't ranked. I know preseason I had you 6 or 7, and you girls just came out and you basically almost run the whole table for the season. Just talk about the feeling was winning a short conference title.
yeah, it was amazing. I think like we were just like working so hard that whole season, with like all the new players on the team and everything like that. And like once we saw like our potential in practices, we knew we were able to like accomplish that goal and working towards like a state championship as well. But it was just like a great feeling because like there were some close games leading up to that. I think like some of them were like 2-1 and stuff like that. So it was like it was super exciting for everyone. I think like we all just felt super accomplished, but we knew there was still more work to be done.
What was the message, before the season started, Coach Patterson gave, you girls? Because, I think you graduated 16 kids. I mean, not, of course, obviously, not everyone got on the field, but a good portion started in sore minutes. So what was the message he gave you girls before that season started?
Yeah, so I think like he kind of like told the returning players to like make sure that we're all being like more welcoming towards, the underclassmen because there's so many new players on the team. It's just like we were trying to get to know everyone and trying to like fill in those roles that we needed to fill in. So I think like he just wanted us to kind of experiment during practices and stuff like that. It was kind of just like a lot of like moving people around and stuff like that. But I think like after a few practices, like we knew like the talent we got, and yeah, we were just like super excited with the pool of players and talented people. And I think he just from that point on just like motivated us to be better.
Last question, unfortunately, is going to be the Westfield game. What did you learn, from, lose 1-0? They scored very late. It was like that.
It was 8 seconds.
It
Like
was it was that late, yeah.
yeah.
So what did especially soccer, that that's heartbreaking loss, but what were you able to take away from that game?
So I just, yeah, obviously it was heartbreaking. Like I feel like we worked so hard like that whole season just for it to be like disappointing in the end. But honestly, after like I think everyone was just thinking about the next season and like how we could improve from that point on and work towards the new goal of the next season. And I think it was like really helpful for us to like be in that situation to like lose that game because like we obviously were undefeated that whole season. And I think we kind of needed that to like push ourselves
Mhm.
to go into the next season and have like a goal in our mind to, win it the next year. So
Now, going into your junior season this past season, whether it's soccer or basketball, I always see big improvements on players. What was something you really wanted to improve on from last season to this past season you had?
um hmm. I think just like obviously this season I was a captain. So one thing I wanted to improve upon was just like my role in leadership. And I think like as a sophomore, like I wasn't a captain, so I wasn't doing like a lot of leadership because I kind of relied on like the other older people to do that. But that was one thing for me. I just like I feel like I gained more confidence after that year. And I think like I wanted to be the person who was motivating other people and just like pushing myself and pushing the other my teammates as well.
A couple questions for your past season. What does it mean, your team got you and RBC went down to Maryland. What does it just mean, like as a team bonding, being able, because not a lot of high schools get to do that. It was a bigger thing when I was in school. But what does it mean, it's just as a team bonding, being able to go away with your team, your high school team.
It was so much fun, honestly. Like we had such a good time together. Um, we didn't really have that experience beforehand. So I think like just being able to like be together and play those games like away from home was super fun, like staying in a hotel and everything like that together as a team was really fun. And we did like some team bonding activities. We went bowling, which was fun. So I think we were all were just like super excited to be there and be like have the opportunity to go and play these really good teams. And we all knew we had to work hard and play to our best level. And I think we were able to accomplish that.
Do you think playing in the division you're in, A North, Manalapan's always a good game for you girls. Middletown South is always a good game, and Howell jumped on the scene last season. Do you think playing such a hard division schedule helps the team for the postseason?
Yeah, 100%. I think like it prepares us to play those some better teams and stuff like that. Just having a strong conference and being able to have competitive games throughout the season. It pushes us and it makes us like try and reach to a new level. So I think like just knowing like we're gonna have that competition just keeps us mentally ready for new challenges and stuff like that. So yeah, it's definitely helpful.
Now, Shore Conference Finals played Howell. You girls defeated them 3-0 during the season. What did Coach Patterson or you as a captain try to say to the team, because it's tough to beat a team twice in the season? What was the message you or coach gave the team before the game started, to make sure the team was motivated?
Yeah, so like obviously like you said it's difficult to play a team twice, because they're expecting a challenge from us and like I think like they knew we were at a level that they wanted to beat us like so badly and like we kind of just like had to keep ourselves motivated and keep our goal in mind. I think like just going into that game, we just said like, we've been doing this all year long, just keep doing what we're doing, keep up the motivation, keep up the hard work. So it's kind of just like the message that like we're here to win and expect nothing less than that.
Next game I want to ask, Ranconcruz Valley, your sophomore year, very tough game in the postseason. You girls could go up. I wish we could talk about that game a little bit. You went up 2-0, I think, and then they were up 3-2, right? And then you tied it and win it in um overtime. What was different, this game? It was 2-0, similar, but they really, compared to the last season where they had a nice attack, they really didn't throw any. I think there was only one opportunity where they had a good chance of scoring, and that was it the whole game. What do you think went different from the year prior?
Yeah, so I think like during that game, just like I think like going up 2-0 like that early, I think we kind of just got comfortable, which was not a good thing, obviously. But um yeah, we saw that they were coming back, we kind of got together as a team and we're like, we need to be better than this and we need to push ourselves. And I think like um after they tied it, after I think we tied it up, after we tied it up going into overtime, we're like, yeah, we're gonna win this game. I think like we all knew that we needed to, and yeah, so it was definitely challenging because we really weren't in any of those circumstances beforehand. But having that pressure on us, I think just pushed us further.
And we'll talk the Manalapan game. I think they scored right before half, right? I think they scored right before half, 1-0, and then you girls put two goals in,
Mm.
towards the end of the game. Kind of repeat quite like with the Howell. You played them during the season, you beat them 4-0. Um, Always competitive. The short conference semifinals the year prior was a very good game. Just how is it, being on the field in a game like that where you're trailing and same thing as Marquetas Valley, your team gets the equalizer and then you get the win. What's your feeling on the field being in a game like tight like that?
Um, you know, Obviously I think it's just pretty nerve-wracking. It's challenging because, like you're up and then you're down again. And like being able to like chase, getting yourselves back up. It's hard because, people get frustrated and we get frantic and rushed. I think like we all just had to like kind of keep our composure and keep our confidence throughout that period of time. And we were able to just like get our groove back and we knew like we had to push ourselves further. We had to push ourselves harder because it's like really difficult to keep working hard when you're down. But I think like that's one thing about our team that's so special. Like everyone's so motivated to work hard, and we all know like we have to win and stuff like that. So yeah.
How, their goalie made some phenomenal saves in that game. How do you keep your composure and not get frustrated when, you girls are putting some really good shots on net and she's just, getting her hand on it somehow?
Yeah, it's challenging. Like we had a lot of opportunities that could
Mhm.
have been goals. I think just like us, like we knew it's coming soon. Like we had to keep taking our chances. We had to keep testing her because after a lot of those shots, like we knew we are able to get in on net. So it was good that we had those opportunities. I think we just needed to keep going so that like, one of them is gonna go in eventually. So
And, how did, you win that game, you end up get to the finals, you play, Ridgewood. Did part of you want Westfield again?
Yeah, I think like we wanted our revenge, but at the same time, we were just like so happy to like finally be in that situation again because like we knew we could have we wanted to get there. We knew we were gonna get there. So I think like just us being in the state finals altogether was uh like a goal accomplished for us. And like it was upsetting that we lost last year, but we were coming to win and it didn't really matter who our competitor was at that point.
That's good. And another exciting game, 1-0. What was the feeling, when the ref blew the whistle and that was it?
It, it was just like immediate relief and like happiness. I think just like overall joy that like we worked so hard like all season and just like obviously our team motto was like redemption. Like we finally got that redemption that we needed from last season, like the season before that. I mean, that we finally like reached our goal. So I think it was just like joy, relief, and like we worked so hard. It was just, yeah, it was a great feeling.
Now, next season, your senior year, what do you hope to pass down to the underclassmen that are currently there and incoming freshmen that'll be coming in?
Yeah, so I think just like us being, the same hardworking team, us like having the same goals in mind, I think I just want to pass down like the leadership that the upperclassmen bring to the table. Obviously, when they're seniors, they're gonna have to take that role on. And I think just like leading them into being that type of leader to push all of the underclassmen who are gonna come in for more and more times is just something that I would like to, pass on to them as well. So, but yeah, like obviously this program has had like such a good run from like the time I was a freshman, even before that. So I think we just want to keep that up.
We do some rapid fire questions. What's your favorite movie?
Either War Dogs or Social Network.
I would not have guessed War Dogs. Okay.
I love that movie.
How about favorite TV show?
Mm, I don't know. I have a lot. I've watched so many TV shows. I think right now I'm watching Shameless and it's so good. So Shameless is like definitely up there. Criminal Minds, I like to.
That's funny. You said all of a sudden, I've never watched Shameless, but all of a sudden clips are showing up on my Instagram feed, and I've never
Like
watched it.
popular. Yeah, it's getting so popular. Like all my friends just started watching it, so I watched it. I was like, it's really good though.
Favorite food?
Hmm. I don't know. I like tacos or like sushi.
School subject?
Favorite school subject. I like either like history. I like history or like English.
How about your favorite number?
8.
8. Um, I had one more. Oh, this is what my podcast partner always asks the basketball players. Before the game, what's your pump up song? The song that gets you ready for the game?
Dreams and Nightmares by Meek Mill.
No idea who that is, but okay.
You have to listen to the song. It's so good.
What's it called?
Dreams and Nightmares.
All right,
It's a really good hype song.
all right, I'll see. All right, let's talk in the future. You are committed to TCU. What is it about, that campus besides they got really awesome colors? Or the campus, the school, what attracted you to TCU?
Yeah, so when I went on my first visit there, I didn't really know what to expect just because like I wasn't really thinking about that school prior to like the recruiting process. And like once they reached out to me, um, I did more research on it and like I think like I just like was intrigued by it and stepping onto the campus, like it was just like amazing. Like the campus is so pretty, so nice. And like the coaches from the team are great people. I think like I watched like their team play and the style of play and like that was something that I really liked about the school because I kind of felt like I would fit in with their style of play. They're very like they like to move the ball, very smart, like go forward and stuff like that. So yeah, just like me like being able to like think like I'm gonna fit in with the style was definitely something that attracted me. And then I met the girls when I went on my visit and I just loved like the whole team chemistry and energy and stuff like that. So
That's
yeah,
important. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
And fall in love with the campus because that's going to be your next 4 years. You're home for your next 4 years. Do you? I know we talked a little. You really don't have a major yet, but any, even when if you could even say when you were younger, any what you want to do after college, career wise?
So yeah, I kind of was interested in the medical field for a little bit of time, and then I kind of jumped away and started looking at other things like sports psychology and like kinesiology stuff,
Well,
majors like that.
that's still medical, sports
Yeah, still
psychology.
medical, but yeah, I'm not really sure exactly what I want to do yet, but
Would when your playing days are over, would coaching or training be something? Would you want to like stick around like doing that stuff too?
after college, you mean?
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm not sure. Like, going pro is obviously something that people talk about and it's become like a big
more of
thing.
a it's getting
Yeah,
bigger, more possibility.
definitely. So I think like that's something I always keep in the back of my head, just like in mind of a possibility. And I think like it would definitely be something I'm interested in because I've just played soccer my whole life. But yeah, I can't imagine like myself not playing it. So, after it's gonna be difficult if I'm not gonna play after college, but we'll see what happens.
Okay, last question. What advice would you give your younger self?
Um, my younger self. I would just say to keep motivated and keep pushing yourself to the next level. To stay on track. Because obviously there's gonna be things that come in the way, challenges that are gonna happen, but like to not let myself, get negative or like be like knocked down by it, just to keep going and keep pushing myself.
Okay. All right, Ainsley, thank you for taking the time out today. And I can think the last countdown I saw was 100 days until opening day. It's probably down to like 92 now or something. So, and you girls open up with Middletown South
Mhm.
opening day, which is always a tough
Yeah.
matchup, like last year's opening day. So, but I wish you luck. Good luck this, in the spring season with PDA, and I will see you in the fall.
Yes. Thank you so much.
No problem.